experienced during the Phoenix Imiloa trip travel and adventure show is definitely one of the books. I remember when we went to the Sunset Jeep Tour in Scottsdale, we met this amazing travel tour provider where they were able to anticipate all the things that we will be needing throughout the tour. And they made us feel valued, understood, and heard and seen, which are the exact principles that we learned from our customer optimization class. This experience made me realize that the principles that we're learning from school are not merely theories, but are actual principles that we can experience in the real hospitality and tourism industry.
We went to these different tourist attractions in Arizona, so I witnessed different beautiful places, different people, and one thing I saw witness is Zion. I witnessed people from different countries with different colors, and they were all happy. We were all happy, and that is Zion, a group of people with one heart and one mind. And that trip made me appreciate HTM even more, because that's the work and glory for Father in Heaven, to gather people in one place and make everyone happy.
The biggest takeaway that I have from the trip was when we went to our Sunset Jeep tour. We were met by a tour guide named John, and he was able to give us and basically exceed customer service as we know it. And learning from that experience, I want to be able to provide the same to the people that I will encounter when I work in the hospitality industry in the future. And I just love being able to give back and be able to let others feel the same and experience the same as I did back in the trip.
My biggest takeaway from this Imiloa trip was seeing how to be like a tourist. And seeing it from that perspective helps me understand why tourists come to my country and take random pictures of the rocks, the chickens, and now it makes sense. When I went to Arizona, I was fascinated by the environment, the wildlife, and now I can provide that experience to those tourists when they come one day to my country.
From the Phoenix Convention Center, I learned from many professionals that every places have their unique things. They know how to manage it well. Me, I also want to do the same thing. Every places have their unique points. I want to manage it so it can be blessings for guests, for myself, workers, and people around. That's really, really amazing things I learned from the trip.
My best takeaway from the trip is my experience during our walking tour in Arizona. And I learned from our tour guide how she started her business. When she find that there's a big gap, and then she tried to fill in that gap. And so from that moment, I was thinking back to my country as the tourism industry started to grow. I think the best way to be success, in the industry economy is to fill in the gap, and that's where you can create any businesses that will help you in the future.
So one of the biggest takeaways I have on this trip, which I'm so grateful for, is we were able to go to one of the native restaurants in Phoenix, which is called Fry Bread House. And one of the executive chefs there, he mentioned how branding is really important and that it makes the restaurant more present to a lot of people. And I think it's important because in the future, as I build my own business, I also want to let people know why we exist and who we are.
One of the biggest takeaway that I get from this trip is by visiting the musical instrument museum in Phoenix. Because when I take this HTM program before, it's because I thought that I can only go to hotel or travel or a food industry. But after I visit this place, I learned that HTM is a broad business and it's a wide. And that's why HTM doesn't have limit. The limit in HTM is just ourselves, our imagination.